YouTube, welcome back. My name is Grace. I'm the Paisley Stitcher here on Instagram as well as YouTube, and today is Saturday, December 31st, 2022, the last year. Let me straighten out here. The last year of 2022. This is Flosstube number 5, and I have a lot of stuff to show you. Today I want to talk about things that I have kitted up behind me. We'll do a kitted up parade, a little bit of one, a little bit of a WIP parade. I went through this week and did some kind of looking at all my WIPs, what I worked on this year, what I didn't get to, planning for 2023, so I'd like to share some of that with you. I also have a really big announcement that I'm excited to share with you. I will do that in a little bit. So let's get started. I want to show you what I worked on since my last Flosstube. And you may recall that my plan was to touch all of my WIPs in 2022, and I had several projects coming into the fall that I hadn't really touched. The first one is Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. And I'm stitching this on 36 count antique white, 1/2. And I'm using DMC. And you may recall originally I started this with silk from Mrs. Sadis on Etsy. And those are the Mrs. Sadis silk conversion from the DMC on the bottom. And I was kind of having a dilemma of which colors I liked better. And I think for this project, I prefer the DMC. And so I really completed a lot on the top. This is 36 count, and I'm doing it 1 thread over 2. I point that out because my next project is also 36 count, and I'm doing that 2/2. I like the coverage better on the 2/2 on 36 count, but I like how my stitches look on 1/2 on 36 count, but the coverage isn't as good. So what do? You go to 40 count and you use 1 strand of floss, and that takes care of that. So my next project, and I just lost my sticky note that told me what linen and everything I'm using. That's okay. So this is the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. Oh, this project is so much fun. And each box, a lot of stitching in each box, but so worth it. So I think this is straw, 36 count straw. And I'm using 2 strands over 1, so you can see the coverage is better on this project. Since my first Flosstube, which was a WIP parade, I've finished these 2 boxes. So in the fall, I finished those 2 boxes, and I want to get back to it. I'm really enjoying this stitch. Again, it's the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I'm using the called for DMC, and I think this is 36 count straw by Weeks Dye Works. So this next one is a start and a finish since the last time I saw you. This was not even on my radar for 2022, but I saw it and I had to have it. And it's Florence Mary Dickinson by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is an exclusive with Hobby House Needleworks. And I started this and I finished it. I was pretty busy, 4th quarter for work, and I worked on this monogamously, and it was such a pleasure just to work on this and not think about, oh, what am I going to stitch on? The colors I love. If I was a 10-year-old girl like Florence was when she stitched her sampler, I would have picked the same colors. I just love the bright, bright colors. Okay, and so some of you are saying, wait a minute, you're not finished. You're not finished. Right here. Yeah, I guess I was a thread hog And by the way, this is on 46 count creme brulee using the called for silks, the SWA 103s. I ran out of 491. So if any of you ever wanted to know what these spools look like when they don't have floss on them, here you go. I ran out of 491. And do you think I can find 491 anywhere right now? Nope, they're all sold out. So I am going to Sampler Symposium at the Attic in January, which is like 2 weeks from now. I'll be there. And maybe they'll have 491. I don't know. But I just, again, I love the colors. This is totally what I would pick if I was a 10-year-old girl. Look at some of those flowers. So unique. And that tree in the middle, I just love it. Yep. So that was my third and final finish for 2022. I only had 3 finishes in 2022, and I'll show you the other 2 in a minute. This was the year of really big projects. I don't see that changing anytime soon, honestly. But I did start on Christmas Day a smaller sampler. This is Mary Wigglesworth, 1812 by Hands Across the Sea. Love the colors, of course. And I am stitching this on 40 count marbled pointer by XJU Designs using the Soie silk. So 40 count, 1 thread of Soie silk, and I'm just really loving it. So this is about a week's worth of work on Mary Wigglesworth. And I'm sad I'm putting her aside for New Year's instead of a New Year's start. I'll show you what I'm going to go back to. I've got a WIP that has been calling to me, and I'm going to get back to that. But as I mentioned earlier, I had 2 other finishes in 2022, and the first one that I finished this year was Isabella Fox by GGR. And I've shown this before in my WIP parade, but this is 40 count, also marbled pointer. Sorry about the light. So 40 count marbled pointer. I used the called for overdyed floss, which was a Gentle Art overdyed flosses. And what else? I told you it's by GGR. I just love that tree. Oh, this was such a fun stitch. And then the third finish, and you've all seen this one before because I think this was a new finish when I first started my Flosstube. It's Bridget Powers by GGR. Oh. This one wasn't on my radar either for 2022. So Florence Mary Dickinson and Bridget Powers were surprises to me. So then I think, oh, all of these plans that I'm making now for 2023, it'll be interesting to see where I'm at a year from now. I'm sure that all of my plans will be tossed out the window and something else will have got my attention, and I wanted to move to that. So GGR. That was Bridget Power, and I stitched that on light hazelnut 40 count by XJU Design, and I used the called for DMC. So Bridget Power was all DMC. All right. So now I want to talk and show you some of, I got a lot of project bags here of things that I have kitted up. Like I said, I went through this exercise of writing down all my WIPs earlier this week and everything that I have kitted up. And when I looked at the pile, I don't know if you can relate to this, but I thought, am I even going to live long enough just to get through the ones I have kitted up, let alone all of the ones back there that are the patterns that I like that I want to stitch. So I'm not going to think about that, and I'm going to stitch what I want. So these bags are going to be a mix of WIPS and kitted up projects. So the first one that is calling to me is Hoity Toity Long Dog Samplers. And this is descending order. This is an old WIP. I probably started this in 2020, maybe. Here it is. And I feel like if I just gave it some attention and worked on it monogamously, I could have it done pretty quickly. I'm using a lilac 38 count by XJU Design with the called for thread. So that's something that I would like to get back to, and soon. When I looked at my book of days, it looks like I worked on this early in 2022, and I have not returned to it since then. This is one I didn't touch in 2022, and I want to get back to it. It's by Reflet de Soie. Something in blue. I'm not even gonna, my French mother would not be happy with me because I'm not trying to pronounce that. Entrelacs? I don't know. Anyway, it's pillow. I love it. Why I haven't gotten back to it, I have no idea. This is what I have. That's it. And I am stitching it with the called for Soie d'Agé silk. It's beautiful. Maybe that's a small. I could think, oh, I could get that finished. Now I see why people put things back in their bags as they go. Otherwise it would be a huge mess. Okay, this is another WIP, Rosetta Featherstone by Hands Across the Sea. This is another one. If I just focused on this monogamously for a week or two, I probably could get it finished, maybe 2 weeks, but I could get her finished. But then I see other things that I like. I know none of you can relate to that, right? Okay. All right, here are some. This is Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I haven't shown you yet. I have, it's framed and it's downstairs. It's Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. Oh, beautiful. And I did that one with the Veldani threads. I love how the finished product looked. I can't say that I enjoyed working with the Veldani threads as much as I had hoped. So I kitted up Spring Quakers. And I asked the attic if they had a silk conversion, and what do you know, they do. Here are the Veldani threads, the called for threads for Spring Quakers, and, oh, sorry for the mess, how embarrassing. Here are the beautiful silks. And here's my progress. So this is a WIP I haven't returned to yet. But the silk is just gorgeous on this fabric. So that's something I'd like to get back to. Only there were enough hours in the day. Okay, this is my start. So tomorrow, I'm going back to this. First, let me say, if you follow Laura Duet on Instagram, she's Maud and Mozart, she talked about a SAL, and it's a hats SAL, first of the week SAL, first week of the month SAL, hats, and I know I'm not saying the hashtag correctly, so go check out Maud and Mozart, but basically, the first week of every month, we are going to work on a hats project, whether it's a Hands Across the Sea WIP or it is a brand new one, which completely piqued my attention because you'll see, I have a lot of hats that are kitted up. You've seen this before. I haven't worked on it since the last time you saw it, but this is Jane Hopkins. And I'm stitching this, I believe, on 40 count Light Hazelnut by XJU Design. I'm using the Soitagé silk. And this is, I just love the detail and all the colors in this, and this has been calling to me to get back to it. Let me show you what it looks like on the cover. There you go. Jane Hopkins, 1875. Oh, so pretty. I can't wait to get back to her. Oh, tomorrow I can start her. And I can't wait. I will put her back on my roller frame. I prefer to stitch on a frame. I stitch two-handed. Okay, here we go. Here's a Hands Across the Sea sampler that I kitted up when I was at the attic for summer school. Sarah Rhimes, 1770. Look at that. Oh, I just love the colors. Okay, and I kitted up the 103 silk, so look at the beautiful colors. Of course, when I ran out of 491, I went through all my kitted up projects and my stash, my very small stash of Swell 103. Do you think I had 491 in that one? No. Anyway, I would love to stitch this. This is also a bag that I purchased at the attic by the Missing Needle. Look at this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful fabric. So Sarah and I need to become friends soon. So this will be one of my starts. The first week of a month. I haven't decided which one yet. That's my next thing. But then again, plans go right out of the window. Okay, this is a Stitch Folk bag that I purchased from off of Barry's website on Etsy, and I just love it. And I was fortunate enough to get one. Okay, this is another Hands Across the Sea sampler. And this is Jane Hearth, 1868. I love the colors. This is like psychedelic colors, right? Again, another little girl after my own heart, because had I stitched something as a little girl, I would have used every bright color possible. So this is one for the new Sal, the first week of the month. And I'm going to stitch this on 46 count Dirty Brown by XJU Design. And I have it all kitted up with the Swell 103 silks. Now, had I been really organized, I would have had all of those colors ready for you to see, because some of them are just so bright and beautiful. Here, I'll grab a couple of them. But just look at this blue and the red. And I better grab that before I lose it. I always laugh that when we move out of this house, when we decide to sell and move, I'm going to find spools of 103 everywhere, because I can't tell you how many times I've lost one. It goes rolling and forget it, it's gone. Stitch Folk tomato bag. Coveted tomato bag. I was very lucky to get one. And the Old Scott by Hands Across the Sea is inside that bag. This is definitely something I want to start in 2023. I've kind of hemmed and hawed on the color fabric I want to use. I also found somebody that had done a conversion on Instagram, and I reached out to her and asked her if she would share her conversion, and she generously did. And when I go to the attic, I'm hopefully going to be able to kit it up with some of those alternative silks and get started on this ASAP. I just love it. This next one's a little, it's very different from what the rest of the projects are that I have kitted up. When I came back to cross stitch 3 years ago this week, I started watching as we went into lockdown for COVID. I was watching lots of Flosstubers, and one I came across was Ginger Gerald. And he was working on, and is still working on, London. And this is a Thea Governor pattern. So I'm gonna do it on the black. I love architecture, and this is a big project. Now, I saw a Flosstube that Gerald did recently, maybe in the last week or so. He's got this almost finished. Is gorgeous. This is on Ada, black Ada, and it's a huge piece of fabric, and there is my big start. Woo! I started this before I had a floor stand, and I need to take the time and get this all put into some scroll rods and try working on it again, because I do really like it, and so I'm hoping I get to work on that this year. I really do. I've thought, you know, I've gone through my WIPS, and there's 2 that I've ditched. That's not one. I still want to work on that one. Okay, over here is Yvonne Leclerc, and I can't wait to get back to her. This is by Reflet de Soie, and before I knock everything over here, there we go. I'll show you what it looks like. That is in a Kay's Creation lap stand, but here you go, Yvonne Leclerc. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful, and I'm using DMC. Lots of DMC. Lots and lots and lots, and I think that's why I like it. I like the detail. I like all the color. It's a really fun project, and it's so much fun to see it kind of come to life. So that is definitely going to get attention this year. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do the first week of every month, I'll do a Hands Across the Sea. On my big announcement coming up, I'm going to be working on that, Sal. And then that gives me 2 other weeks to get back to projects like Yvonne here. This is another Stitch Folk bag from way back. And inside of it, this is what I want to do, is Just Stitching Along by Krista Gramer. And it's Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1826. Look at that. Look at the colors. Oh, I just love it. And I've got that kitted up with the Soie. Oh, look at the colors on that. There's 6, I think, that I absolutely want to start in 2023, and it'll be very interesting a year from now to see if I actually did start them. This is another one that's been calling to me. I love history. This is Let Freedom Ring by Leela Studios. And I have a start of a patriotic wall, and this would be a fantastic addition. I have it kitted up with all the called for DMC and Gentle Arts and one classic colorwork. So I'm ready to go. Just need to start it. And it's another big one. This bag I purchased when I was at Acorns and Threads in May. And this is a Crafty Corey Stitches bag, and I got to meet Corey. I've got a couple of her bags. This is one of them. And inside, oh, this one was almost a Christmas start. It was between Sarah Fletcher and Mary Wigglesworth. Sarah Fletcher is going to get worked on or started very soon. I have her all kitted up. Look at the beautiful swattage, and I plan on stitching Mary on 40 count Sand Dune by Seraphim. Oh, can't wait to start that. Now there's nothing in this rule of the SALs that says I can't work on a Hands Across the Sea the entire month, not just the first week, right? Okay. This one I have had kitted up for so long. I saw Carol Saltbox Stitcher and maybe Brenda. This is Esther Edison, 1832. Look at the red house. Oh, I'm a sucker for a red house. I've got it all kitted up with all the over-dyed floss. It's ready to go. I just haven't started it. And I'm sorry, I don't know where I got that bag from. Okay, I have a bunch of So Much to Love bags. These are beautiful bags, and they stand really nicely in my bookcase back there. There's another Hands Across the Sea. This is Jane Fittis, 1835. I love a Scottish sampler. Look at that. Look at that house. Love the lettering too. Oh, why haven't I started this? Okay, so I'm going to stitch her on 37 count Corn Tassel by Legacy, and she's all kitted up with the swattage. Jane Fittis. I know I'm probably late to the game on that one, but I want to stitch that one too. Okay, another So Much to Love project bag. The Scarlet House, Jane Cowie. Oh. Again, the colors. I just love bright, happy colors. Jane's ready to go. I've got a piece of 46 count lamb's wool by XJU Design and NPIs. I'm gonna do her in NPIs. Oh, look at these colors. Okay, let me get my act together here. Look at the NPIs for Jane Cowie. What I mean, this is probably, hopefully I live to be 100 and I can stitch till I'm 100, but I'm going to get all of these. This was the first sampler I ever bought from Hands Across the Sea, and it's Anne Uffendell. And she has been kitted up for at least 2.5 years. Why haven't I started her? I saw Stitching in Costume. She finished Anne Uffendell recently. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. She is also, so I am going to stitch her on 40 count Old Mushroom by XJU Design. And I have the swattage. And I'm sorry I'm not more organized for this floss tube. Normally I would have this all ready to go, but it is a kitted up. So I'm ready to go. I see me starting all kinds of hats projects the first week of every month. Now, what does that mean for me for finishes? That's something, I don't know about you, I thought about that a lot this week. I have a lot of finishes that I need to send off for framing. Is my goal to finish, or do I enjoy the process? I can't answer, I don't know. I can't answer that question, and it doesn't really matter because I just enjoy doing stitching. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe I am a process stitcher. Okay, Cross Stitch Antiques. This is Mary Green. Oh, look at that gorgeous sampler. She's all kitted up as well, and I'm excited to start this because I have the Tudor silks from, I got this at the attic. And there's also a Swasserfine. I have not used a Swasserfine yet. I'm anxious to try these different silks. I haven't put any linen in it, but I know where my stash is of linen, so I'm not worried about that. This is the Dot Dot Goose bag, by the way. And you can find her on, I think you can find her on Etsy, I think. Oh, Mary Snow. Okay, first this bag is from the 805 Stitcher, which I have a bag I just purchased from her in my haul section, but I have several bags from the 805 Stitcher. Here's another Hands Across the Sea. This is Mary Snow. You know, if it has a lot of red in it, it speaks to me. And look at the beautiful colors. No 491 in here either for Florence. I see me starting Mary Snow this year. Okay, here is another bag by the 805 Stitcher. The cows. I love it. I was watching yesterday Brenda, Handwork Maniac. And one of her whips is called roasted chicken and potatoes, or some roasted chicken and something potatoes, and it's two chickens. If you haven't seen it, it's hysterical, the looks on the chickens' faces, and it's bright colors, and I thought that's something I need to add to my kitted up stash. It's so cute. So in this bag, I have the Rose and the Giant Pear, 1888. Everybody's familiar with this, right? From Hands Across the Sea. So I got this at the attic last February. And newsflash, Jean convinced me that I can work on 56 count. There's my start. This is creme brulee on 56 count. I so want to be able to work on 56 count. I'm going to give it another try. So this will be something that I do touch the first week of a month for our hats, Sal. I really want to be able to work on 56 count. I see Karen Lynch on Instagram post beautiful projects on 56 count. I want to be able to do that. Okay, next up I have, and this bag is not marked, it's from the Scarlet House, and is it Keisha Smith? It's a Dutch sampler from the Scarlet House. And I have this kitted up. Oh, look at this. I've got Tudor silks from the attic. I also have Swasserfine. Why haven't I started this? And I plan to use Marble Bunny by XJU Design. No, better. That's better. I have, is it Kessie? Keisha? I don't know. But you know which project I'm talking about, right? Would love to start that. Okay, Red Bird Sampler. And this bag, I don't know where, but I love to travel, and this bag. When I was a scrapbooker, I have so much paper, scrapbook paper like this. So this bag spoke to me. And this is by Brenda With Thy Needle and Thread. I'm sure you've all seen it. I wanted to start it this year and never got to it. I have it kitted up from the attic with Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbits. And I have all the called for. We've got DMC and Classic Colorworks and WIPS Die Works. And could I be more disorganized for this? There you go. So I would love to start the Red Bird Sampler. My pile's getting big over there. But we've got maybe 6 more here. Okay, here's another bag by 805 Stitcher. And in it, I kitted this up in February at the attic. This is Mrs. Campbell. Such a unique sampler, I think, and unique colors. Just that border. Oh, I love it. And I have it all kitted up with the Swell 103. That'll get started this year. Here's another So Much to Love bag. Look at those little piggies. Oh, Blackbird Designs. I see so many people finishing this, and every time I think, why haven't I even started it? So I've got it kitted up, ready to go, and I have it kitted up with all of the overdyes. Yeah. This one is So Much to Love bag. Paisley, hello. Love Paisley. And this is Moonlight Visitor. I just love that little project, and I've got it all kitted up ready to go as well with all the overdyed colors. This is part of Anniversaries of the Heart. I've finished one. I don't think I've shown it yet. One of the squares. I have not finished the whole thing. I think I'm just going to do a few of them separately. But I've got that all kitted up and ready to go. Okay, next in a So Much to Love bag with Dachshunds, of course. Look at that. Dachshunds with winter sweaters, with their holiday sweaters on. Oh, I got this at the attic. This is Sampler Roll. And this is by Linda Danielson of Samplers Remembered. Look at that. Oh, I've got that all kitted up and ready to go. I've got it kitted with Dinky Dye Silks and Classic Colorworks Belle Soie. So I've got it all ready to go in silks. I even have the Grubby Toast by Lady Dot Creates, the ribbon to pull it all together. And why haven't I started this? Just love that. That's Sampler Roll. Here's another bag by So Much to Love. The Village of Hawk Run Hollow. Oh, do I want to start this? And I keep telling myself, you can't start it till you finish The Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. Why do I limit myself with rules like that? I don't know. There it is. I remember kitting this up at Hobby Lobby during the pandemic after we were going out a little bit, and I had a mask on, but I was determined to kit it up because I was going to start it. And I still want to start it. So why do I put that limit that I have to finish the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow? I don't have to do that. I can do what I want. I got another dachshund bag from So Much to Love. Look at that. Oh my gosh. All right, and in here is the Smith sampler. And if you watched a previous Flosstube, you know that I started this. And I had to put it aside because I cut a slub and it made a hole. And then I got some protein bar on it, and I said, that's it. So I've set it aside. I definitely want to do this project, but right now I'm not feeling it. So that's the majority of what I have kitted up, and I'm sorry I'm banging the table. That's the majority of what I have kitted up. So I'm definitely going to work on a lot of Hands Across the Sea in 2023. So I'd like to move on to the big announcement, and I'm sure most of you have already heard. I'm a little late to the game, but I'm so excited and honored to be part of this. Someone's having a big birthday on January 16th, 2023, and it's none other than Brenda from the Brenda and the Cereal Starter. And how can we celebrate Brenda and all of her contributions to the stitching community with a Sal? And Penelope Tucker, she's Penelope_Tucker on Instagram, has worked with Tanya Bruckmeyer at the Scarlet House, and they have designed, Tanya has designed a beautiful reproduction sampler, and let me get to that. I had it all queued up, and do you think that it's here right now? No. Okay, here we go. There we go. That is Martha Evans, 1879. It's a beautiful reproduction of an antique Welsh sampler owned by the Scarlet House. The Sal will start between January 16th and February 16th, 2023. You can purchase this pattern directly from the Scarlet House. You can also get it at your local LNS or your favorite online store. Again, the Sal will start anytime between January 16th and February 16th of 2023. There is no deadline to this Sal. There is a hashtag, and it's hashtag Brenda's Big Birthday Sal. And Penny is asking that you post pictures of your progress on that hashtag. If you have any questions, you can use that hashtag, or you can contact Penelope Tucker or Penny Tucker directly. And go ahead and follow that hashtag for announcements, progress photos, etc. This is the second Sal that I'm doing in 2023, and I'm so excited for what I'm planning on stitching this year. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes, see if there's anything else. There's a couple of Flosstubers that I've been watching, and I wanted to share them with you. And the first one is Samantha. She is the Huga Stitcher, and Huga is H-U-G-G-E, Stitcher. I just love her enthusiasm for cross stitch. She recently finished and framed the village of Hawk Run Hollow. It's fantastic. And the frame that she selected was absolutely perfect. I mentioned earlier that I like to watch Brenda, Handwork Maniac, and I know she's working on Hoity Toity. She has amazing projects, and she's trying to finish 23 projects by today. so I'm a little behind, but go and check out her progress. She has a lot of them finished, and she always inspires me. Um, you may recall when I was talking about Christmas stitching in my last Flosstube, I talked about the Christmas. It's this big Christmas tree, and I didn't bring it over here by Ronaldo Parlin. And on Instagram, I saw that Bonnie, the AK Stitcher, sure that stands for Alaska, she finished it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Go take a look at that. And last, I watched the first Flosstube from Laurel, and I am a stitch nerd. She's a quilter and she's a stitcher, and her projects, oh, I just love them. We love similar designers like Plum Street Samplers, Rosewood Manor, Scarlet House. She's also working on Long Dog Samplers Pandemic, and that's Laurel, and the name of her channel is I Am a Stitch Nerd. Right there with you, Laurel. I'm a stitch nerd too. I'm so excited for 2023. I've already paid for or have plans to attend retreats. The first one is Sampler Symposium at the Attic in January. So looking forward to the classes and just the energy and sharing stitching with so many wonderful people. I'm also going to Stitch Nanigans in Las Vegas in April, hosted by McKenna, who is the owner of 1884 Stitchery. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's move on to haul. I want to show you, I was quick. I was able to get a magnetic wooden bowl from Nicola at Hands Across the Sea Samplers. And I just love this. Look at that little mouse. Look at this. The quality and the craftsmanship are just amazing. And so I have this on my desk, and I just, oh, it's so cute. I love the wood on this. It's so well made. So that's some of my haul. Before I get to some other haul, I have Stitchy Kindness from a friend. Thank you so, so much. It was so thoughtful. She sent me 46 count hawthorn. She sent me a fat quarter of hawthorn, along with, look at this cute needle minder, the sticker Floss Boss. Love it. Love the stickers and needles. So thank you so much. You know who you are, and thank you. I really appreciate the gift. Some other things that I purchased since I last saw you. I got in an order from Needle and Flax, 40 count. I just ordered this. I couldn't even tell you when. And I'm like, it's worth the wait, and I'll get it when I get it. And I got Thornfield and Dirty Teacup. Oh, I'll be stitching on this soon. And then I got in from XJU Design marbled hazelnut. And I just thought that was, is this 40 count? 40 count. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I think that's a newer color for her. And then I also bought a bag from the 805 Stitcher. When I saw this fabric, I thought, oh my God, I've got to have this bag. So cute. And the inside, look at, just love this. And then it's got the pair of scissors for the zipper pull. Really nice. Okay, that's it for haul. What else? I think that's everything. Wow, okay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me. I hope you enjoyed going through the Kitted Up projects as much as I do. It just makes me want to start everything right now. Happy New Year. Hope you have a safe and wonderful holiday, and I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.